is really funny. It seems like it knows what I want it to do, and it doesn't do it. It's weird. And there'll be a delay when I tap something, and the screen will spin because I have it on rotate, and I'll hit something else. It's like, I'm a little contraption. It's gonna mess with you. That's Nolan's. I used to play. They had a writer's night there, music. Writer's night. And, I wrote this song called Pasted Faces. I think 1986 or 87. Piles of magazines all full of faces always seen. But who's to care for all of those who've never been? The pasted faces against the floor. And those who are popular will always be ignored. And I'm so lost as to who's in the lead. Shouldn't we care for those most in need? Yeah, it just came to me. Those words. There's a second verse, I can't remember it. Now, I know that it's somewhere, but it's probably been erased on my buddy's computer. He doesn't really have any more of those recordings anymore. I try to keep in touch with him, but he doesn't respond. Norman. My drummer, songwriting cohort, back from the old days. Now I just come up with song parts and use a looper pedal, but now it's like not even that. No notes. The sounds coming from the fingers. Playing music. I had to do laundry today. It was a drag. I think I'm losing my mind. It's really kind of a bummer. Not okay. Like, just really need some solace. I'm just a character in someone else's vacation. A background extra. You know? Trying to have conversations about gaming with some of the people here, and that's fun. Because I do like gaming. I do like some gaming. Mostly the first-person perspective games are very interesting. Not just shooters, but story development. I like story development. If the story's really good in a game, it's pretty engaging. It's kind of like being in a science fiction, being a character in a science fiction yarn. It can be fun. What's up, John Hobbs? Yeah, there's a temperature drop happening tonight here. It will be chilly Willy in the chili in the beach side. I was looking at this place called Baxley Manor that's in Merritt Island to rent, and they have studios for $650, but they don't have anything. So like the market is choked here. It's a choked housing market in this part of Florida, as far as, if I was, let's see, anybody with like some kind of investments or some kind of like, financial portfolio. You could get a Airbnb, but that's not working. That doesn't happen. Yeah, I have a 1985 John Hobbs. I have a if you're still here, I have a 1985 Kramer Pacer, and I bought it in a pawn shop in 2017. Actually, a very generous friend of mine in the neighborhood there up in Baltimore. I was staying at a friend's house who was involved with the, let's see, something happened in 2001. It was in Manhattan. There's people that like to dig for information on that, and I was somebody I knew in that group of people who were real concerned about the military-industrial complex choking the living world into death. This pawn shop, I went in there and I saw the guitar, and I was just like, that's really, I'm going to talk about this. It was like, I went to sleep that night and that guitar was going, hey man, aren't you going to come and get me out of this pawn shop, dude? I love Halo. Actually, no, it's too cartoony. Also, the iron sights zoom, it like jumps back. It's like you can't look down the rail of the rifle or the pistol. It really pissed me off. I couldn't aim with the thing. I just had to do, I had the side, like the gun is in the corner of the picture, and like you couldn't look down the gun. And that really pissed me off. It was something about, I was playing it on a PlayStation 4, PlayStation 2 or 3, I think, 3. I didn't like it. But going back to the guitar, so yeah, the guitar was, I was having these, I'm being funny, but the guitar was like, you know, aren't you going to come and get me out of this friggin' pawn shop, you know, hanging here. And so I went in and checked out the guitar, and I had a, in like 1986, I had a Kramer Pacer that was red, and that guitar that I had, it was late one night, and I was in the rehearsal room, and I was playing guitar and really enjoying myself, and just by myself, just practicing, whatever. And I put my guitar on the stand, and I got up, and you know, I was leaving. We had a room that had egg cartons on it for sound baffling, you know, because it was the third floor in a big house in Mount Pleasant, D.C. So they had soundproofing and everything. So, you know, I'm leaving, and the guitar cable plugged into the guitar had gone around my ankle over the course of me fucking around, and I walked on, and it yanked the guitar off the stand, and bam! The headstock snapped right on the bottom E-string tuning machine head on the headstock. You know, it's like the hockey stick shape, and the last machine head broke off. I mean, the wood cracked, snapped in half. Not at where the nut was, but on the end. This guitar had the same thing happen to it. This is different guitar, but somebody fixed it. Somebody had used super glue and whatever, and it's fine. It works pretty good. You just have to baby it. But I didn't know that until I took a closer look at the guitar, and I was like, oh my God, I had a guitar that had the same thing happen to it. You know, and I got mine fixed too, but they're not the same guitars. So I looked at the neck plate number, and it's 0159, made in 1985 by ESP in Japan, 4 Kramers. I looked up the serial number on the internet. Yeah, those are great for sound. I'm just talking about a guitar, that's all. And so, yeah, it's kind of weird that that guitar had the same kind of injury to it that a guitar I had around the same time did. So it was kind of like a calling. And his friend in activism, she dropped down $85 for it, and it had a gig bag. Didn't have a hard shell case. If you have a 30-year-old guitar, you're gonna have a case, not a gig bag. No. You gotta have a case for it. But that's all I had up until about a year ago for that guitar. But I love guitars, man. I love guitars. I love the aesthetic. Always wanted to just go pawn shop hopping and buy 2 or 3 guitars, and then from those guitars build one guitar with all the parts you get. That's a way of making something that is uniquely yours, You may have to do some changes to the scalloping on how the neck goes in the body if you're going to switch out necks. And I always thought it looked really cool with a Strat body and a Explorer neck, like from a Gibson Explorer. I always thought that looked, that's something that DVH did. He always put different guitars on that same body that was originally black and white with black stripes, or black with white, and then it turned into the Frankenstrat. It's the same body. It's the same body. That same guitar body through all those years. The legendary Frankenstrat with the guts showing the cables and the pickups and underneath the strings, and you could, Then Kramer made all these striped guitars, and after he died, there's been a whole bunch of that going on, people building them and stuff. But yeah, the Kramer guitars are really good. I really love acoustic guitars. I love Epiphones are really, really good. I don't like Epiphone Les Pauls. I don't like the way the headstock looks. I know that sounds stupid, but I do like Epiphone guitars. If you can't afford a Gibson, Gibson acoustics are really expensive, but Fender makes really good stuff too. I love acoustic guitars. When I first came down here, 2019, my friend, my former friend, he's not my friend anymore, we went fishing, and it was behind it was in Cape Canaveral. It was behind a Wendy's, okay? And there's this kind of part of the, it was on the shore side, but there's an inlet there behind this Wendy's, right? And so we're in this thick brush, and he's casting his line or whatever, and I look, and there's this shady brush, this real thick brush, and I hear this sound like maybe tire, an air being let out of a tire, like a sss, and I'm like, excuse me, hey, what's that sound? And he's like, oh, you better move back, go over, let's get out of here. I'm like, what? And he's like, and I saw a gator. It was fairly good size. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's really great. Where's my elephant gun? Where's my shotgun? It's like, getting out of here. Anyway, and I've seen dolphins too. They hang out, and it doesn't matter. In the mornings, you can see dolphins in the surf. I love drums. I wish I could find a drummer. Like somebody who's like, hey man, I got my drum kit in my garage. Bring your guitar over. Let's go play. Let's write some shit. This never fucking happens anymore. It's so weird, man. It used to happen all the time. It's like, hey man, come on over and play some music. Not anymore. JJ. Yeah, I'm lamenting. No guitar in my hands. Yeah. So, sun's going down. Temperature's going down. Nothing else to say. I was talking about the Kramer I have, the guitar. How fortunate I was to get it, and I've taken it to 2 different people to keep it. I wish. Really? Well, how can playing drums fuck up your back? That's interesting. My back has been trying to go out on me. I'll bend down and I'll catch it and I'll say, no, it's not happening. It's not gonna. I'm gonna stand up straight, and I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying? My back, because I'm sleeping on a real hard surface, and I'm 57. And the grouping of bones on both sides of the base of your spine. You have your spine in the middle, and then there's a grouping of bones which are like your hips. It hurt like shit, man. I'm in a lot of pain. And when I bend down, if I bend down and I use my legs, my legs hurt really bad. It's like, it's from sleeping. I need to sleep on a mattress or like something, because I have herniated discs, and my back is like. I don't want to. I don't want to have anything serious going down. Even this cut that I got at work. I didn't want to go to the hospital. It probably needed a stitch or two because it keeps reopening. This is like 3 days old. Yeah, that was some of the most fun I ever had. In 1987, we drove from D.C. to Austin, Texas. We played a week of gigs. We had 5 gigs in 7 days down in Austin, which was great. And my band manager, who was the drummer, and I, we met at Time Life Books at the telemarketing office, Norman and I, in December of 1983. Okay, he came in the job interview with a purple mohawk, and he had like the suspenders hanging down with the shredded jeans and the engineer boots, you know, looking like a total punk, you know. And oh, okay, yeah, well, yeah, I know Alex Van Halen fucked his. He was wearing a neck brace for years. But this is, you know, how we met. Both had the same interview, and we both got hired. And it was really funny because he was in a band called Madhouse, and they were this kind of Susie and the Banshees kind of thing. This was 1983 or 84, and he was playing guitar. And I just went to one of the rehearsals, and I said, "Hey man, mind if I play your guitar?" And he's like, "Sure." And he jumped on drums, and then within like a month, we decided because we started writing music, and he wanted to play drums, and so he quit Madhouse to start a band with me, and they got this other guitar player named Fred Freak Smith, who actually he was stabbed to death about 5 years ago in part of Inglewood, California, in a park. Real sad story. He was an amazing guitar player. Anyway, so Norman and I started this band. We found this bass player named George. The bass player auditions were really funny. They were really funny. We wanted to find somebody who could listen and play at the same time. In other words, write, be spontaneous, and let's make some. Take all our influences and like make a big goulash of something new, And so yeah, we settled on this cat George, and yeah, we were first called Not Responsible. That was what we called ourselves, and we started playing at clubs in D.C. We played the D.C. Space. We played the 930 Club, and a few other bars. There's a place called Roxanne. Roxy, which was on Connecticut Avenue south of DuPont Circle, and this place called The Complex, which is like this punk rock venue, kind of smelled like vomit place. We played a bunch of places on the mall, things like that. Anyway, we came up with the idea interval. Because this guy Max Garrett, who's now dead, guy from England, sort of ish, from New England, but he had friends in London. He's like, "What about the name Interval?" And I was like, "Okay, we'll call our band Interval," and that's what we called ourselves. The Hump Tulips. I always liked Interval. I always thought it was a good name because it has many different meanings. It can be an interval in music. Spaces between. It's cool. There's another band called Interval that's around. I found another band. They're not very good. They play like kind of real, I don't know, just real kind of bland rock, the kind of music you just go like this to it, and go, oh. We had a lot of gigs with a lot of different bands that, we played with Living Colour a couple times. They had the song, Cult of Personality. We played some shows with them. And a band called King's X, we played some shows with them. Little Country Joe and the Fish, believe it or not. We played with them on the mall in D.C. Yeah, always, whenever I'm mixing something, I want to make sure that I don't go over something and then say, and regret not making some kind of a change, because you're going to have to listen to it forever. And every time I would hear something, I say, God, I wish I'd done that idea that I had. So I always would seize the moment and say, hey, I have this idea, let's try this. And, you know, so that way, when I listen to the song, I'm somewhat satisfied with the way it sounds. I have a lot of tunes in me, so I would like to do something with that. But like tonight, I would go play open mic. But I don't have any way to move my amp and my guitar. I'd really love to do that. I could do busking, but I need electricity, and there's no place to jack any juice. And I need a battery-powered thing for my amp. And of course, I'd probably use a hand truck, to stake my stuff. I mean, there's that guy walking down the street with a hand truck, a guitar amp, on it. But anyway, kind of boring. I don't know. There's no cops around. Maybe if I say there's no cops around, maybe some will appear. Anybody see any cops? For cops. Anybody see any cops? If you see any cops, tell me. I don't see any. Say 1999 Cannondale. Look at how terrible the bottom is. Hi. Hi, Crafty Cat. Kitty. My karma ran over my dogma. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. And this is a band from in Cocoa Beach called Constant Throw. They play. They're like really inspired by The Damned and TSOL and all that stuff. They're real garage, or the real punk rock, American punk rock. Probably Sex Pistols too, but I have I just don't have much to say. I don't know why I'm doing this, and that's probably the way live streams should be, not planned. I go by title. Let's see. I should have changed my strings before all the shit went down and I didn't have access to my guitar. I kind of shut it out of my mind when I had to move, that I wasn't going to be able to play guitar for a while. I should have known, but I didn't anticipate that. I didn't think about that. I had more worried things to worry about. So how do you keep your job when you're without a home? It's hard to keep your sanity. Hey, how you doing?
What's up, Darrel?
I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, it's getting cold. Getting cold. I'll go down to about 50 degrees tonight, I think. Part of the world. I'm real concerned about these people around me that are like in the past day are like wearing muzzles now, and they're getting their jabs, and they're not like real friends of mine. I just know them from, you know, these Cloud Parlor, these vape shops. So I don't go to bars, and a lot of people are sick, and they're like, I got my vaccination 6 months ago, and I got a booster, and now I'm sick. And my cousin up in New Jersey's sick, and he got his booster. I was talking to him on the phone. He's sick. He's sick. He got the serum. I don't know. He got the serum. I think he had 2 boosters. I know he got a shot like over a year ago, and then he got another shot because, you know, he has to do that. And talked to him today, and he's like, you know, I said, why don't you try a neti pot? And he's like, no, I don't do that. Wait, I missed a bunch of people. I can't understand what everybody's saying. Trying to be well. There isn't much I can say about anything. Nothing more expensive than regret, I reckon. I certainly would like to be playing guitar right now. That's the title of the video. I'd rather be doing that than standing here looking at this stream and feeling like an idiot. Feeling like a real fucking moron. Yeah, well, I don't expect anybody to understand that unless you play, unless you've been playing for a long time. People think it's a hobby, like knitting or crocheting, or maybe I'll do some pottery, right? No, it's not. It's not a hobby. I may not be that great, I may not be a signed artist, but it is a bummer not being able to play guitar when you've been playing so long and you love it so much. Put all that energy out into the atmosphere, into the universe. Just goes.
It sounds like noise to me.
Sounds great. Oh man, I like that. What I really like though is playing at open mics, and you have all these drunk people, and it's a really cool. You never know what's going to happen. And it's always great when these drunk dudes and drunk ladies come up and they're like, "Dude, man, you're really awesome." And I'm like, "Thank you." Throw $1 in the bucket. No, I don't say that. I don't even have a bucket. But I don't like going to bars because I don't drink. I don't like to drink. But I like going to bars, and I like playing music, live music for people. That's fun. One of the things I really liked, when my band, we played at a place called the Bayou, which is gone now. It's in Georgetown in D.C. It was in Georgetown. And the Bayou was a place that my grandfather played at in the late 50s and the 60s. He was he died like a year after I was born. He played Dixieland jazz at this place called the Bayou. Back then it was a speakeasy. And in the late 70s, it turned into a rock and roll blues place, and it died that way, you know. And I think it got torn down in 1999 or 2001. Anyway, when we would play there, we played a gig with one of the gigs with Living Color, and we were backstage, and there was a song by Simple Minds that was playing, and there was this really great feeling. It was like I was so nervous, and I was like, there's all these people out there here to see Living Color, and we're going to play for them, and it's like, you know, you don't know what's going to happen. That's what's really great about that feeling. And so we had access to the audience of Living Color, the live audience, and that was really good. And then, you know, we didn't follow up the recordings we made, which really sucked. I mean, the recordings were good. One of them's on my channel, The Shift. But that's a soft one. There's 3 others that we made. We made one called Shock Plant, which is a really cool song. I wish I could get that. Norman has it somewhere. One called Shoreline, and I used to have a copy of that, but lost it. And Price of Life is on my channel. There's 2 videos of Price of Life. I sing on it, and it's kind of a power rock ballad. And the words in that song today really do apply. It's really weird. It's really strange. Those words came to me. We're living something we were given, and now we have to find another way. The price of life, it's the price that we pay. It's the price of life we pay today. Yeah. Well, you can find those in my playlist. Price of Life. I really think that song came out good. It got a lot of hate. It got a lot of thumbs down, which is really strange. I think there's a lot of, I don't know, this sucks kind of thing, or can't understand, because if somebody else did that song, I'd like it. You know, I don't understand why there was like it was punched hard 53 times, and it was, yeah, okay, I remember. About 50 of my videos in 2009 got hit with between 49 and 53 1 stars. And some of them, the videos had only been seen 30 times, right? So overnight, all these videos of mine got 1 star, because they used to have the 1 through 5 stars back then, right? 1 through 5. And I contacted YouTube about it, and they said there was some kind of thing. I don't remember the email. Was it? I don't remember now. Or did I not even? I guess I probably didn't pursue it, because I thought YouTube was full of crap at that point. And, so yeah, a bunch of my videos got 1 starred overnight. That was really weird. I guess algorithmically it buried me, so it made me like less prominent, so I wasn't like getting views, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, there's nothing like the Adam Stein. I liked hardtail. I like a Les Paul. I like my Kramer. I like a Charvel with a Floyd Rose. But I love Gibsons. I love the Explorer, Gibson Explorer, or Les Paul. I like playing in drop D, and I'd like to have a D-tuner on my Floyd Rose, but that's a whole nother guitar. I'd have to do that. Oh, dude, thanks, man. But yeah, the song "Price of Life" is somewhere in that playlist of original songs on my channel. One of them is I think both of them are age restricted. One of them has photographs and memes in it, and the other one has got titles of the lyrics, you know. I really liked the video for the song by Van Halen, Right Now. I like that video a lot. The things that are said, one of them says, right now, old men and oil companies are in charge. A picture of a guy with a sign that says, we'll work for food, and the titles say, right now someone has the wrong idea. You know, in Sammy Hagar's book, he talks about him and Eddie were doing like this errand, like doing errands or something, and it was a 7-Eleven, and there was some homeless guy that was digging in the dumpster, and Eddie went over and talked to him for a minute, and Sammy saw him hand him a couple $100 bills. Yeah, he gave guitars to the Los Angeles County school system. I think he gave the Wolfgangs, he gave, I think, like 200 guitars, but a couple different times to the Los Angeles County, because he really wanted kids to get the musical experience. Man, I want a guitar so bad right now, you know, it sucks. Thanks for the, understanding. It's, last night I almost rode down to where my old apartment is to try to find the cat and say hi to my cat, Flurry, but I stopped and I turned around because I didn't want to prolong the, but I'm grateful and thankful. Guitars, Wazy, Juan, how you doing? Thanks, Juan. Wazy, fellow musician, check out Wazy's channel. He writes some really cool punk rock. You gotta have. There's something. There was a band in Arlington, Virginia, like in 1983 or something, and I haven't been able to find their stuff. It's impossible. They were. I guess they didn't make it, but they were so good. They were called Age of Consent, and this is before. I know that there's a song called Age of Consent by somebody that's real famous, but they were called Age of Consent for a different reason. And there's a lot of punk rock that Wazy's music reminds me of that isn't around anymore. So go check them out. Really good writer. Yeah, exactly. New Order. This band, Age of Consent, there was a band, oh fuck, what were they called? Half Japanese, not half Japanese. Fuck. I can't remember. Forget it. God. This must have been all that acid I ate. Yes, we used to do like mushrooms and rehearse and set aside like a Saturday night, like 5 to 5 in the morning, Sunday morning, and we would trip on mushrooms and write music. That's what we used to do. And we'd go in there and we'd write 5 or 6 songs that were 3 or 4 minutes long. And we'd write and then just do freestyle stuff like jamming, like how bands like Fish do, but we didn't play like Fish. We played like all right, John. Cool, man. Thank you. There's a lot of music in there. It's not too much of the stuff. Oh, I'd like to have one of those. You can't find that band, but the song by New Order or whatever you can. But God, that's a sunset. God, hold on. See if I can catch that. Can't really see it very well. I hate this phone. So, Yeah, I knew Henry Rollins. And I mean, he was like to drink. And we used to, me and this guy, Wendell Blow. He worked at Time Life. He was one of those greasy punks. He had like big hair, but it was all tendrils, and it had like gel and stuff in it. And back then they used Final Net, but it was all tendrily and it was hanging down, And he wore a leather jacket with all these. Someone zapped that worm-like creature that came in. What is that? See, can you? Yeah, there we go. Henry Rollins, yeah, he used to get drunk on the Exorcist steps in Georgetown. Okay, these are the steps, at the end of the movie, The Exorcist. Reagan, throws the priest out the window with her mind. He goes out the window and he goes down those steps. Well, in actuality, those steps are like 70 yards from the window, from that window of the bedroom, right? It's a real house that they filmed the exterior of. The rest was filmed interior, I think, in Hollywood or whatever. And we used to get drunk on those steps. I used to drink the Foster's Lager oil cans and the Black Label 40s. The Black Label 40s. Wiedemann's beer. Oh, really, John? Cool. But yeah, Henry Rollins, he was really fucking mean. Wendell Blow, man, I wonder what happened to him. Boy, he was a crazy dude. God. Anyway, I know that he was he got into real hard stuff, and I think we may have lost him. Yeah. Do want to remember Fred Freak Smith. He actually made an appearance on Late Night with Jay Leno when he was out there, because he was playing in the band that was left over when my drummer left his band. They changed their name from Madhouse to Strange Boutique. And Fred Freak Smith, he played a Lucite Stratocaster. It was like the see-through body. Lucite, man. That'll bring back memories anybody knows. It's pretty fucking weird, because you can see the cables for the pickups, and you can see the cables for the. Oh shit! Are you kidding? Yeah, Gray Matter. There was a band. I saw the UK Subs in DC. That was really great. I love the UK Subs, man. UK Subs. I actually like the UK Subs more than the Sex Pistols in a lot of ways. Let's see. Killing Joke. We actually had their bass player produce us in 1986. Chaz Coleman. Back then he was called Youth. He played on Hounds of Love with Kate Bush. And Beverly. Hi, Beverly. How's it hanging? UK Subs are great. They're a really good band. Let's see. Iron Cross, okay? You may not have heard of Iron Cross, but there was a show. The singer's name was Sabb, S-A-B-B. And he had an alcohol trauma during a show. Like, he had broken a bottle of beer, and he was cutting his chest, and he was screaming into the microphone. His girl was in the front, and she was wearing a pink tutu. Like, she was like, she had this weird fucking mohawk, but she was wearing a pink tutu, and she had this black leather boots on. And I just remember the image of her jumping on stage trying to stop his bleeding, and all the blood going all over her pink tutu. It was really fucking weird. Iron Cross, that show was really wild. Yeah, I remember them. Discord. I saw the Bad Brains before they really made it big. That was great. I love the Bad Brains. There's a lot of bands I saw that I saw Pearl Jam. But that was later. Uh, I knew Dave Grohl. He worked at Tower Records in Georgetown. He was in the Tower video, I think. On Facebook, my friend Fred Freak Smith had tried to reach out to Dave Grohl, like, I don't know, years ago. And love it. I love that. Never say die. And Fred had stated that Dave Grohl didn't have any interest in talking to him, any of his old friends from D.C. And it kind of pissed him off. And I was like, oh, so that's how Dave is. He's like, well, I'm a rock star now. And I'm from the grunge scene. I'm from Seattle, really. You know, my mom and dad are an attorney and a doctor. I never had to struggle. I had money behind me, and that's fine. But Fred did express that was kind of a drag, that he was such a snob. And Fred got stabbed about 4 or 5 years ago. Wait a minute, it was longer ago, about 10. He got stabbed in some park in LA County, I don't remember. Melvins are great. The Butthole Surfers, of course. The Tony Rice unit. I have no idea what that is. Are you talking about Tiny Desk Unit or Tony Rice? I don't know. Anyway. They never found out who killed Fred. He got stabbed to death sitting on a park bench. Too Tall Rob. It's good to see you. Look at them tacos. Look at them tacos. Yeah, I mean, I never really tried to talk to Dave Grohl. I mean, it's kind of stupid. He wasn't really a friend of mine. I know he played in some bands and circles that I played in, but it wasn't like he we hung out or anything. We just played in the same clubs. And I knew that he worked at Tower Video, and I used to go in there and see him and say, "Hey, what's up? You got that copy of Dawn of the Dead?" Yeah. That was a big deal. Getting to rent Dawn of the Dead on VHS and watching it on a Saturday night with a case of beer and a bag of weed. You know? Or going to see it at a midnight movie is even better. You know? You and your punk friends, you go to like some mall that's like in suburban Maryland, and we'd like go in there and like there'd be all these rednecks, and we're just like sitting there. And didn't really look particularly punky. I looked sort of like, like a dirty leather jacketed dude. I had long hair, and just sort of, I didn't fit in, with anything. But those were the days, man. What's really funny is in Dawn of the Dead, that about halfway through the movie, nobody hates each other in the audience. They're all like, shit, man. This isn't a joke, man. Maybe we should all band together to fight these zombies. I don't know. Okay, definitely. You got that. Check out Too Tall Rob's playlist. Apple fritters. All right, well, I'm going to end this live stream, I reckon. Too Tall, you take care of yourself. I'm off tonight. I don't really have any extra money. So, probably a bag of potato chips. Otherwise, I'd have like quesadillas and a bean salad and something really nutritious and it's got protein in it. JJ, you take care, and nobody, don't eat, on that note, don't eat anything bigger than your head. Alright? That's important. If you want to help out, hit my PayPal. It's in the in one of my videos. Oh, and these live streams, I make them unlisted and I put them in my live stream playlist. I don't think I said anything in this one that was particularly. This one's gonna stay public, because I didn't say anything about any of those. Well, did I? Did I say anything about the thing? Yeah, I know there's a shortage of Roman baths, Too Tall Rob. Roman soups, I'm not sure I know about those. Oh, ramen, of course. Yeah, and they're expensive now. They used to be, used to get 20 of those for $1. Yeah, I know. But sometimes I don't want to have it in my default because I don't always want to put it there. You know, because I'm not always this financially sodomized. Sorry, but it's pretty rotten. Yeah, I should not have stayed at the La Quinta last week. It was a really bad idea. Because they hit me with a deposit that they didn't tell me about, which held a lot of my money up, and it was, you know, it's, if you have lots of money, you can go stay at the La Quinta, but if you're having anyway, as I said, don't eat anything bigger than your head, and certainly don't eat an apple fritter if it's bigger than your head. Now, Too Tall Rob would probably eat several apple fritters if they were bigger than his head. That's a funny visual. Sound effects would be intense, man. All that chomping. Bong hits. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care. Bye for now. See you. Yeah. All right, okay. I gotta say this. Too Tall Rob, you gotta add Too Tall Rob to the Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers cartoon. I don't know if anybody remembers the comic book, The Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers. Too Tall Rob looks like a character from one of the Furry Freak Brothers. There's these two pothead guys. I don't know if you gotta know about them. Is that methadone for life? Holy shit, are you serious? Holy shit. You guys, this guy's old school YouTube, really a long time ago. It's great to see you. I'm in Cocoa Beach, Florida, man. I got out of DC. It's all on my channel. Methadone for Life. It's really great to see you. Hugh, right? I was just I have a playlist of Texan cyclists. I have playlists of like old YouTubers, and I'm so glad I made them. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to find them. So, feel free to look through any. If you want to look at some of the old YouTube and some of the ways of the old YouTube, I try to preserve it in those playlists. But anyway, Too Tall Rob would be a character in the Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers, and this was an R. Crumb comic. R. Crumb was an illustrator. Don't pass this by. Look up the Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers and tell me if Too Tall Rob does not belong in that universe. That's a compliment. All right, you guys take care. All right, now I'm going to end it for real.